Hey guys, 2Kill here. So this is Pillars of Eternity, the end of Act 2. It's mostly just dialogue and making decisions, but for anyone interested in the actual story. This is the Hermit of Hadret House, the end of Act 2, leading on to the beginning of Act 3, the final act. There's something I can tell you.
Yes? Well, let's hear it.
The leading keys manipulating a group of Engle-within machines in the span of country seems to be causing hollow-born epidemic.
I had feared they might be involved in Widewind's legacy. It seemed too extreme even for them. How naive I've been.
Indeed you have been,
That
Yutch.
isn't enough to take to the Duke, but we're close. Avar Wolfgren is a cautious man. He will want to know everything possible before being moved to action.
I found Thales in Brackenbury Sanitarium impersonating a patient. He was trying to damage the public's opinion of animancy.
Forgive me, it is unlike Theos to leave witnesses. He must be furious. He did not aid you as you'd hoped, I take it? Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while you sleep.
Great.
This news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not be the Leaden Key's first action against it. But if this is connected to their other activities, we may be in for something on a much larger scale. The Leaden Key's conspiracy is clear now. They have used Engwithan technology to engineer Widewind's legacy, and they want people to blame animancy for it. As we speak, the Duke is holding hearings in the palace. He is listening to arguments for and against animancy. When they finish, he is expected to decide whether to outlaw it. It seems the Leaden Key has been pushing Deerwood down this path
for some time.
I, for one, would enjoy seeing their little scheme fouled up at the last moment. Our Duke must hear what you have to say. Unfortunately, the hearings are closed to the public, which makes the Duke inaccessible until they are completed.
Well, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
However, certain groups have been invited to attend. You might get in with one of them if you aren't above a little pandering. There are delegations from the Knights of the Crucible, the Dozens, and from House Dominel. If you can gain the support of one of those groups, that may be your best way in.
Yeah.
What of them? We would only do... It would be best, Avar, the man behind...
Peace, nerd. I'm gonna go in with the Crucible Knights. Perhaps. God damn it. Alright, so let's go talk to Crucible Knights, Senor. Fist of Fire. Come on! Oh shit. What is this BS?
Yeah?
I'm ready.
Didn't go through this once before. Alright, so you ain't gonna help me. Talk to the dude over here.
The Crucible Knights have their ambitions, but the stability of Defiance Bay is foremost in their mind. The Dukes are thinking only of their trading assets, not the long-term health of our partners in the Deerwood. If Defiance Bay falls, all we will have left are overland routes. Not much comfort.
Don't want to see anything bad happen to Defiance Bay either. Because then we'll tell the Duke, I hope he believes us. Yach. That's how the Crucible Knights are attending the Animacy hearings at the palace.
Indeed. Duke Avar looks to the Knights for prudent counsel as well as defense. I suspect our future as a city and a nation will depend in no small part on how we handle this matter.
Well, I need a hearing with the Duke. And we'll be glad to have you with us. Aviar will no doubt find your presence persuasive, and we need all the possible support. He gives Animancy a fair chance. Indeed. I gotta travel back to Brackenberry. Talk to that chick. Oh god, I should be able to quick travel. Boom. Oh, I actually unlock that. Travel back to Brackenberry. Head to Lady Webb. She'll probably be dead or something, or playing these games. Should be dead, kidnapped, raped. Alright.
How fares your search?
I'm gonna do this for you. I think it's time you told me everything about the house.
I've told you everything you need to know.
But not everything.
It's only right that you know everything.
Yes?
When I was younger, before Dunreed Row, I had many suitors. These were fine-looking men of good stock. But I could see their thoughts, and they were unimpressive. Boys' thoughts. I toyed with their affections. I resented all of them.
Damn, she was a player.
And then I met a man whose mind was a mystery to me. But he understood me. He knew me at a glance, told me things I didn't know about myself. He was neither handsome nor charming. He was all I ever wanted.
You're talking about the house.
We made a game of my gift. He would ask me about people, and I would tell him what they were thinking. Sometimes the information was very sensitive. And then one day he asked me if I trusted him. I said I did. Next I knew I was donning a silver mask and swearing oaths to Woodica. Using my gift for the leaden key still felt like a game to me, so I did it. I did it because it pleased him.
Biatch.
I don't like living in the dark. It's a powerless, hopeless feeling. Every day I did things without knowing their purpose. Every day I loved a man without knowing his thoughts of me. I sensed that there were things he wanted to tell me. I sensed that he knew everything the leaden key was created to hide. But Theos was unyielding. One day I disappeared without a word. He would kill me for it, and I knew that. It's their rule. I just wanted to see him plunge the knife, because then I would know. But the day never came. He has left me to wonder. I have devoted my years to learning everything I could about him, in hopes I would find some clue as to who he really was, and why he felt he had to keep his secrets locked away. I have precious little to show for it. Just an old woman nagged by old thoughts. And that is truly everything I can tell you about Theos. I hope you will accept this embarrassing story as a show of my good faith.
Bitch. You just got sprung. That's all you were. I want to discuss the animancy hearings at the
What
palace.
of them?
The Knights of Crucible accepted me into their delegation.
Good. Avar Wolfgren looks to the Crucible Knights as a voice of reason and order. Speaking from their section should lend you credibility with him.
Damn straight.
You need waste no more time here. Get to the palace. Make your case to the Duke. With him on our side, all of Deerwood can be mobilized against the Leaden Key, and Theos can be rooted out. I only wish I could be there to see it. There is a very old bottle of a very good brandy that I have been saving for a special day. If you hurry back afterward.
Peace, nerd. So she's probably not going to get raped till after the meetings. Right? Right? "15 minutes. Alright, well, let's head to the meetings, I suppose. I'm actually going to save before I actually walk in. Kind of look like it could have been a side quest. Alright, we'll do a quick save down here. Since we are entering a new area. Where is? I think it's down here, right? Yeah. Excuse me, sir. A place has been reserved for you on the balcony to go to the upper floor. Okay. Hear thee, hear thee. The room below is animated amidst a heated debate. All the representative groups are easily discerned in the crowd. Crucible Knights stiffen their noisy armor, sit in one section, and the other well-dressed members of the House of Dominil, casual watching with the Predator's interest. Still elsewhere are the ramshack dozens who have made no special effort to dress up for the Liege Lord. Enter Persped, the Animancers in their academic robes with expressions either sour or concerned.
Well then, answer me this, Master Barash. If you Animancers represent our best hope to cure the legacy, What progress can you demonstrate?
Ramir de Barask is originally from Palminia. He's one of the finest minds in Animancy to come out of the Valian Republics. He left for Defiance Bay 5 years ago, because he believed this was the true heart of Animancy research.
As I've said, it isn't about progress, it's about potential.
My house would agree, Your Grace. We see great potential in its future.
And I suppose your blazing profits during the Legacy don't have nothing to do with that, do they, Dominel? You can't have it both ways no more! Animancy goes, or this country goes!
So you admit, Master Barask, that Animancy is no closer to stopping the Legacy than it ever was.
No, we've had many promising experiments. Cadman Azo has shown...
Cadman Azo murdered a child. For a complete failure. We should be hanging him right now for what he done. The dozens won't stand for it.
The experiment failed, yes, but his work...
Let's work with sabotage.
Ah, our new delegate from the Knights of the Crucible. What makes you say sabotage?
I met a false patient in Brackenberry Sanitarium who had tampered with Azo's machinery.
The fuck's that even matter? These are people who would toy with the lives of our children.
Indeed. Even assuming there was sabotage, is this Animancer Azo not still accountable here?
Let's see. Those who know me around here know me to be fair in judgment. Cadman Azo should be held innocent. No, he isn't. That was he was a responsible scientist who was... We'll just do number 2.
Horseshit. These Animancers can't be trusted. Look at what happened in Heritage Hill. Our supposed protectors from Crucible Keep can't even clean up the messes Animancy leaves.
Your Grace, we'd have a much easier time of it if our knights weren't so occupied trying to keep their organization from igniting a revolution on our very doorstep.
Heritage Hill is blood on your hands, Justiciar. You turn a blind eye, and look what happens.
I've been to Heritage Hill since the quarantine. Though the Knights were unable to control the damage, it was not Animancy but Ancient Machine that caused it.
You've some strange taste in travels, friend. The height of your tales expands with every breath.
You think some rotting corpse or volunteer guard could stand in my way? I earned my answers.
I'll grant that you look the part. Tell us what you saw in Heritage Hill.
Ternalwith houses and Iguithian machines that hold dominion over the flow of souls. It was a machine that made the district undead.
Even if it is as you say, we have testimony that a group of Animancers had been spending time there. Surely their tinkering had something to do with this.
I have a reason to believe there were others at the tower who might have done this. There's no denying that they were studying dangerous machinery they did not understand.
But the very purpose of these experiments is to understand. So these dangerous things can be used responsibly.
Exactly.
This is what it comes down to, Your Grace. Whatever their intentions, Animancy's a pox. It makes a fucking wreck of everything. We all know what Widewind's legacy's really about. And it ain't about some sparkling saint from Creed Ceres who's mad because he took a stroll down the wrong bridge.
Wrong bridge indeed.
It's about a bunch of so-called intellectuals fucking with the natural order while the rest of us gotta suffer for it.
Is it, though? Should we not take the time to reach a clear conclusion? I mean, what proof do we have?
My son and daughter are buried beneath the floor of my house. We don't own no land, so that's where we lay them. My son, my wife let him slip when she was bathing him. Got water in his lungs, he couldn't cough up. My daughter, we put her to bed one night, and the next morning she wasn't breathing. This Hollowborn thing, it ain't ending. And it ain't ending because we still let these charlatans play God. There's your proof, you damn copper fucker!
What the hell is this dude problem?
Enough, Hadret. Lady Dominel makes a point. If it's Animancy, then why do the other states that permit the practice not suffer the same fate? Who among us can say he truly understands why the legacy has taken hold here?
I can. The crowd begins to mutter, the sound taking a doubtful character. Right idea, Watcher. Taking his hearing by the curly ones. Don't waste your chance. Waiden's legacy is the creation of the leading key. Kedman Azel's downfall was their work. As the Tower and Heritage Hill, they want you to do this. They want Animancy to fall. The dull muttering expands into the din of skepticism that fills the hall. I have seen them in the ruins of Elgathan, operating machines that disrupt and redirect the flow of the souls. Near towns like Gilded Vale and Dareford, where the legacy is universal. As a Watcher, I ever heard their dead confess their plot. They are sealing the souls of the unborn.
Beasts. Another lunatic at the hearing. Did you remember to lock your sanitarium before you left, Master Barask?
Let's see, please, I only want to help Deerfoot. You want to see crazy? Make one more smart comment just like that. Birth invalids until your womb dries. For all I care, the rest of the people will hear the truth. Let's see. You shame your order by dismissing the truth before hearing it, madam. I expected to find better from the Crucible Knights. If he did your husband's sake, I hope at least left the brothel unlocked. Let's see. If, as the Duke says, no theory has more proof than any other, what is the harm of hearing one more? Let's see. Will do you shame your order by dismissing the truth before hearing it, madam?
You must know, friend, that the leaden key is a mantle for small-time ruffians and children at play. I'm not saying you're a liar. Not yet. But you'd better start making sense of all this. Help us believe you.
Let's see. What's more likely, that the god of destroying Deerwood for science practiced in many parts of the world, or a group of people that hates Animancy wants it suppressed? The key lading is very real. There are foreigners from Ader and Redcrest who hate Drywood and want to see us suffer. Let's say a lord is ku-clocked by his wife. If you tell her to stop, she only want her lover more. But if he spreads a rumor that her lover has just visited a brothel, acquired a pox on his loins, she'll end it on her own. We all want the same thing here. We want Waydwin's legacy to end. If we work together, instead of arguing, we could stop. Let's do clever.
I don't see what some rich lord's got to do with any of this.
Let's see. Look, the wife is Deerwood, the Lord is leading key. The affair is Animancy, get it?
You're making less sense now than you was when you started.
You've made an unexpected case, friend. I'll say that much. It seems we have a new possibility to consider, at the very least. How was it you came to learn all this?
I took personal interest in the matter and tried to learn. Knights of the Crucible were instrumental in aiding my investigation.
I see. I'm impressed the Knights seized such an unlikely opportunity to find an end to all of this. But these hearings are about more than Waydwin's legacy, even though that is our most pressing concern. Let's say for the moment that I were to take you at your word that our friends in Brackenbury Sanitarium and their peers bear no responsibility for this curse upon my country. I'm curious, what would you do if you were in my position?
Animancy should be studying Deerwood. If you don't, someone else will, and it will wield power over you. The Animancies of Deerwood have been given too long of a leash. Practice should be restricted and controlled. In truth, I'm not completely confident Animancy doesn't have something to do with Waydwin's legacy. It would be wise to ban the practice. Animancy is too dangerous. We are not meant to use it, and we have proven why we are unworthy. It should be outlawed. See, Animancy should be studied in Deerwood. If you don't, someone else will, and they will wield great power over you. Well, let's let them continue to explore their work. Animants serve their own ambitions and their own purses. Giving them the power is like setting a child loose in the armory.
Very well. That is all I wish to hear. Not just from you, but from everyone. Many days we've been at this. It is time we put it to rest. I want to thank the delegations for helping me collect my thoughts. And our new delegate, who, if nothing else, has made this final day a little more interesting. The time has come to choose a direction for the Deerwood. I am ready to make my pronouncement.
Oh, shit.
Ramir de Barash, representing the interests of animancers in Deerwood, step forward.
Your Grace.
What the F's
The
going on?
arguments for and against animancy are both strong in their own way. I must be careful in my judgment.
Forgive me, Your Grace. We will accept no judgment but our own.
What's he doing?
No, wait!
Stop this at once!
Sasan!
I've given you every chance to end this pursuit. Shall I end it for you?
Fuck you, bitch.
Another time. I am already late.
No!
Perhaps a little rest is in order.
The words, shall I end it for you, ring in your ears. You find yourself grasping for breath, struggling to keep your own balance. You drop to a knee and watch as Dallas hurries out of the building. The world dims around you. The screams clashing, the weapons fading to silence. All that remains are words.
Shall I end it for you?
Dallas stands at a pulpit high above the assembly of robed onlookers. You among them, clustered around a wide circular pit carved with stone. Here just as a woman bound backward over a large iron wheel, overlooking the great stone maw. Many of the woman's fingers and toes are severed, and the bottoms of her feet are charred black. The skin on one side of her face looks like melted candle wax. Black and red seeping at the angle of her back suggests a spine in ruins. Yet, for all that, her expression betrays little of her anguish.
I am already at peace, Grand Inquisitor. Are you?
Her eyes are barely open, and the words come out, unbroken.
So be it. If you desire no end, you shall have none. I find you guilty of heresy. May the eternal prison bar your soul from passage, for it is beyond redemption.
He nods to a hooded attendant who begins untying her from the wheel. You open your eyes to a beam ceiling of the palace grand entry hall that clings as your striking metal waft from the outside alongside the cries of the injured. As you stagger to your feet, Dallas is gone. Polygna is standing over you, her eyes darting around the room before looking down and thrusting her hand onto yours. Her eyes glow with the inner light, her voice talking on an unworldly timbre. Get up now! Lady Webb, she's the only one she must be told. She'll know what to do. Please find her, tell her everything. The guard passes out and slides to the floor still.
I'm ready.
Run! Holy shit. Nothing but rioting out in the streets. Oh goodness. Oh my goodness. I think I got my rest bonus is gone too. I must find Taos.
Slowly now.
What's going on here? Dude, how long was I out for? Holy shit. Guess I don't get to pick where I go. Well, looks like the Knights aren't doing a very good job in cleaning the city up. Holy shit. I knew she was going to be dead, raped, or something. I've been saying that the whole time. Of course, I knew it. Hold on, let me jack your shit. Lady Webb lies still in her bed, an ornate cushion propping her back upright, the blood pooled beneath her, a gash in her chest is tacky and nearly dry. A shattered glass rests on the floor beneath her dangling hand. You can feel the faint aura of her fading essence in your ken. Reach out for it. You may contact you and you're immersed in a torrent of sensory input and experience. When it claims, you find yourself in the same room, lying in the bed with a glass of brandy in your hand, while the walls from the streets outside you come. The sounds of screams and shattering glass at the cacophony of an angry mob. You take a sip and it warms your gullet. Across the room, the door opens behind a patient, steady push into the room. Walks Dallas, the floorboards creaking beneath deliberate steps. You wait until the last of the brandy has trickled down your throat before you speak.
I was a fool to think I could tame these people.
You came closer than most.
A fine epitaph.
No worse than any.
You're concentrating, focusing all your energy. It feels as though you are diving into a stone wall over and over, but it cracks suddenly, unexpectedly, allowing the vaguest wisp of thought to leak through.
What's in Twin Elms?
Did you pull that from my thoughts?
I've had time to practice.
Ah.
He walks over to a small table and raises a half-empty branded bottle to eye level. Seems to approve of the selection and begins to reach out for an empty glass.
I was saving that for someone.
The bitch drank my fucking brandy.
Pity.
He places
You know this is how it has to be.
He places the brandy bottle on the table with care before approaching the bedside. He sits on the edge of his bed next to you. His words come freely, absent of all doubt. He's drawn a long, curved knife from his belt, smeared with fresh blood. With his left hand, and he gently pins your sternum as he raises his knife in the other, its point dangling above your heart.
Prove it.
Thal slips a knife between your ribs and pushes it through. Layers of tissue separate with brittle, papery stiffness, and blood wells up in the back of the blade. A pulse of reflex causes you to drop your glass to the floor, and you hear it shatter. With the last of your strength, you take his knife, hand in both of yours, a question radiant in your mind. For an instant, to your great surprise, the pathway to his mind is left open to you unguarded, and the answer comes. Simple cataclysm, and its reordering of your thoughts. As Lady Webb, you feel as though you have an answer you've searched for all your life, but in your own mind, your understanding lies to protect your reach. You look at Dallas with the wide eyes of someone seeing for the first time and draw your last breath as a black, velvety darkness descends over you.
Smoke rises above the city walls in billowing plumes that blacken the sky like a storm. Behind the walls, the riots rage on. Known patrons of Animancy are forced into hiding as looters ransack their estates and make off with their possessions. Animancers are torn away from their families and dragged from their homes to be stoned to death in the streets. Word had spread immediately that Duke Avar had been assassinated, and that an Animancer was to blame. The city wasted little time in exacting revenge, and little effort into evaluating guilt. In the center of it all, Brackenbury Sanitarium burned. And down the lane, Hadret House, the last bastion of stability in the Deerwood, had fallen silent. Now safely outside the city gate, your path points eastward to Twin Elms, where Theos is bound, for reasons that remain mysterious as the leaden key itself.
Whoa, dude. Well, I think that's Act 1.